May I now once again invite the Principal Secretary, Industries Government of Kerala, Shri APM Mohammed Hanish IAS, to address this gathering on Kerala Industries Ecosystem.
Thanks, Mr. Tim, for that wonderful, absolutely illuminating talk. Thanks, Lord. Once again, let's give a round of applause to him for the brilliant talk we had. Thank you very much. And may I start off on a little deal of correction of an error as also. My chairman of Kerala State Industry Development Corporation, Mr. C. Balagopal, created the world's largest manufacturer of blood bags and not surgical gloves. I stand corrected. My profuse apologies. Going on to Kerala, what is Kerala? The first and foremost thing is that we believe in the clear line, nature comes first, people come next, and industry comes after that. And smart investments for a sustainable future. Sustainable industry and sustainable investments. Kerala has always been ranked number one among 28 Indian states in terms of the healthcare, the sustainable development goals, school education quality, e-governance service delivery, and also a frontrunner in tourism, India Innovation Index, and also energy efficiency. Next slide. At a glance, the high-quality physical and social infrastructure of the state, tailor-made to achieve higher economic growth, $157.30 billion GSDP, as against India's $4.1 trillion, the 11th largest economy in India, per capita income of $4,400, which is 1.7 times higher than the national average. Next. In terms of the sector as such, look at the sector contribution. 21.8% comes from the primary sector, 24.2% from the secondary sector, and the tertiary sector, that's the interesting tale, accounts for 53.89%. 8.75% of the primary sector GSVA, 27% of the secondary sector GSVA, and 64.25% again in the tertiary sector. Next slide. Connectivity. Two major seaports. One is just over here. India's finest deep-sea terminal is just a walk away from here. It's Virginia. Located at the farthest end of the country and on the international channel between London and Sydney, the presence and the utilization of this terminal reduces the cargo movement time from the east to west by something like 8 to 9 days. This is the ultimate, the kind of game changer that Virginia has become. Two major seaports, Cochin and Virginia. 17 minor intermediate seaports and 4 international airports. And the tremendous deal of connectivity, as you can very much see over here. Next slide. We are the front runner, high literacy rate. Right from the 1990s or 1980s, we have been the front runners, cent% literacy, and highest human development index, and 100% digital state. In fact, the first digital university in the country has been established in Kerala. And the highest mobile network and optical fiber penetration, very close to 100%. So in terms of the international airports, high quality education, women empowerment, come to think about it, between 2022 and 2025, we had the MSME encouragement program called the Year of Enterprises program, in which 375,000 new MSMEs got registered, and the number of MSMEs that have been pioneered by the women is something like 37% of the total number of MSMEs in the state of Kerala that have been created new. Clean water and air quality. AQI, as all of us know very well, here as our Honorable Minister keeps telling all of us all the time, you can take a deep breath instead of wearing the masks all the time. And a pallbearer in terms of the sustainable development goals as well. Next slide. The MSMEs, I just mentioned about the Year of Enterprises scheme. From 2022 to 2025, This project has got recognition from the Honorable Prime Minister as a best practice model for the whole of the country. And the American Society of Public Administration, in the last 85 odd years, it has, for the first time, really flagged this model as something unique that is to be taken up at a global level. The 12th largest number of MSMEs are registered here, and there is the Mission 1000, which intends to scale up these MSMEs, 1,000 top MSMEs, which would have an average turnover of 100 crores per year, and intends to ultimately take it up to a gross 1 lakh crore rupees per year. 3.53 lakh MSMEs, as I stated, 22,733 crores of investment, and it's generated 751,000 jobs now. Next slide. Coming on to the startup ecosystem, the kind of recognitions which is created across the world, across this Asia. For instance, it's considered one of the best ecosystem in South Asia. 5,300 plus, almost 5,278 plus startups, 63 incubators, and 300 crore funder funds, and with VC and angel funding going on, and the Maker Village and the Startup Village in Cochin that have been dedicated to the startups as such. We definitely would go a long distance in this regard if more greater deal of VCs, venture capital fund, as well as the angel funding comes in. This is something of a challenge which we have taken up, and we intend to move along in this direction. Next slide. Now we go on to the National Industrial Corridor, of which the Chennai-Bangalore Industrial Corridor and the extension to the Kochi-Bangalore Industrial Corridor has become of extreme significance now. In the Kochi-Bangalore Industrial Corridor has two nodes that are located in the state. One is the manufacturing super city, which is coming up. Among the 12 cities that were announced last year by the Honorable Prime Finance Minister of the country, Palghat is the first node in the country where the master plan, the project management consultant, the contractor, the awarding of the contract, the acquisition of the land has been completed. And 3 days back, Government of India itself advertised it as a milestone in terms of the nodes that have been activated. The first node that's been activated in the whole of this country amongst the 12 cities that were announced last year. And along with it, we also have the financial city, or the global city as we call it, coming up quite near to the Cochin International Airport if everything goes well. 147 plus sector-focused industrial parks and areas like biolife science, pharmaceutical, multi-sector, then food processing, high-tech and defense. New industrial parks, Meds Park, as all of us have visited yesterday, the petrochemical park that's located in Cochin, and the rubber park that's coming up in the border of Cochin and Kottayam. And we also introduced two innovative schemes. One is a private industrial park. A person or a group of persons who have something like 10 to 15 acres can qualify to have a private industrial park with all the amnesty, with all the protection, and with all the kind of exemptions that's provided to industrial parks run by the government. Along with it, we also introduced the campus industrial parks. Here, I would hasten to add that in my earlier role as the Health Secretary, Principal Secretary, Government of Kerala, we initiated the process of creating the innovative entrepreneurship development centers to address the problem statements in the medical science sector inside the medical educational institutions. Happy to state that that has also taken off. So quite tremendous deal of enthusiasm and encouragement that's been received for this private industrial estate scheme and the campus industrial park. Coming on to the next one, Virinyam. Go to Virinyam. One sec. Right. Going on to Virinyam, very nearby, the strategic location as I stated, and the connectivity to the key destinations. East to west, the cargo travel time is reduced by something like 8 to 9 days. And you can as well understand the kind of economics that's involved in this matter. And it's been invested by the Adani Virinyam Port Private Limited with $1 billion already invested by Adani's, and it's India's first semi-automated transshipment hub, just 10 nautical miles away from the east-west international shipping route, and capacity to handle 1.5 lakh TEUs per day. Travel time reduced and a great deal of gain as well. In terms of the draft, 22 to 25 meters is the natural draft that's obtained in the Virinam deep sea terminal. Next slide. Coming on to the Kochi-Bangalore Industrial Corridor, in Palghat, in the manufacturing super city, smart city that's coming up, 1,700 acres of land has already been taken into possession. 3 villages altogether essentially on the Palghat-Coimbatore National Highway, and we intend to create the kind of multi-sectoral approach for pharmaceuticals to metallic industries to food sector together. And also the global city near to the Cochin International Airport, which basically focuses on fintech and GCC. Next slide, how do we really cater to it? 14 universities, 51 polytechnics, 159 engineering colleges and 33 medical colleges. The kind of talent pool that's created, and we rank 3rd in terms of the employment skill readiness in the country, with the skilling that has been started off with that ASAP as well as the Kerala Academy of Skill Excellence and the job opportunities that's created as well. IT sector has been the largest employer of the fresh talent. Next slide. So what is it that we have in terms of the value proposition? Access to the future-ready, skilled workforce. Every time when we compare ourselves with other states, there is always a question being asked. Where is the land? In terms of the kind of land-intensive industries, for instance, if Hyundai or Ford Motors need to put up a manufacturing plant over here, certainly we can have it in other states where we can have thousands and thousands of barren land. But in terms of the technology that should go into it, utilizing the vertical integration that's possible in infrastructure and the talent pool as well, with the skills in healthcare, the huge diaspora that's spread all over 138 countries, and the maker village, the startup village where the incubation centers, the startups are created, 5,800 plus startups, the women empowerment, and also the kind of uniqueness of the geography of the state wherein there is nothing like a distinction between a village and a city. Often a question is asked, which would be perhaps the longest metropolis in the world? The answer would be that it is a state or a place called Kerala where we have the longest metropolis, which has a distance of something like 650 kilometers south to north. The industry-academia collaboration. The industry-academia collaboration, I'm so happy to note that in collaboration with various academies and universities across the state, the industry has come forward. Dr. Viju Jacob has been a pioneer in this regard by institution of the Center for Synthetic Biology in the Cochin University of Science and Technology. The Center for Sustainability Studies has been opened up by yet another important company, the Geojit as well. So it intends to multiply. We intend to multiply upon the kind of industry-academia connect by providing these campus industrial parks, these unique centers of learning, and also the centers of excellence that can be created, that are being created inside the Life Science Park and outside as well. Next slide. With all this, the single window approvals become all the more important. The single window approvals, I just want to be very clear with you. You see something like KSWIFT, K-Swift. Take out the laptop, type it out using this K-Swift platform, you get an acknowledgement certificate for 3 years and 6 months without approvals, without permits, without permissions, without sanctions, without licenses. Any industry in the green category can be run, within which time the necessary approvals could be acquired by the institution. It provides for kickstarting the industry in this manner. So the time limits, timelines, and alerts have been provided, and the digital approvals and one application and online payment system has been made. Next slide. In 2023, we brought out the industrial policy of Kerala along with the kind of liberalized utilization of the land rules of 2023 as well, wherein they change from A activity to B activity, A owner to B owner. Transfer of property from A to B has been made as simplified as possible. Along with it, the 22 sunrise sectors have been identified, among which number 4, number 15, and number 16 become of critical significance to the gathering over here. Biotechnology and life sciences, medical devices, and pharmaceuticals, and of course the nanotechnology also comes into the fore. So these being the kind of priority sectors as far as the industrial policy of the state is concerned, they bring in 18 odd incentives along with the initiation of industry in these particular categories. We have 70 odd stalls over here catering to different sectors of biosciences, and also the kind of ever so many entrepreneurs as well as academicians over here, the Industry Academia Connect, and also the Industry to Industry Connect. The JVs, the collaborations and the research collaborations that can be made are absolutely unlimited. The opportunities are unlimited, and we go on to the next slide where I can state the kind of incentives which are being given. The state goods and service tax, 100% reimbursement is made on the capital investment within 5 years. Investment subsidy or the investment subsidy on the capital investment made up to the limit of 10% is made. And if the local population is employed, 50%, 5,000 rupees is provided by the state of Kerala. Then quality certification, stamp duty exemption is provided, power duty tariff is waived off, incentives for sustainability and responsible industrialization, and incentives ultimately beyond that, based on the employment potential, based on the investment potential, if that is quite large enough, beyond the 18 listed incentives, we have ever so many other asks which can definitely be answered by the high-level committee headed by the Chief Secretary. In other words, what I want to state is that given the scale of the industry, given the scale of employment, given the size of investment potential as well, we can go in for any kind or any number of incentives as is possible within the framework of the state. Next slide. The investment avenues in the field of life sciences. It's a home to 20 plus medtech players as stated with an annual turnover of 7,350 crore rupees, or 80% to 20% of the medical devices total production and the total turnover as well, 5,000 plus startups as I had stated, which require angel funding, which require VC funding, for which I think we should be able to really bring in enthusiastic, absolutely interested persons into this fold. And it's also home to 70 plus medical device manufacturing units that which are supported by 20,000 plus engineering graduates. It brings us once again to that earlier, very clear philosophy of talent pool creation and the abundance of the talent pool over here. The advancement in the biotechnology sector, the medical device, nanotechnology and life science, and the acres of land that's available in the life science park as well. New initiatives are coming. The Advanced Virology Institute, Nutraceuticals, Center of Excellence, Innovation Incubation Tower, Microbiome Center of Excellence, Biotech Research Training Center, Biomanufacturing Park, and also the Hub for R&D entrepreneurial by the CSI NIST. National Institute of Interdisciplinary Science and Technology has NIST or CSIR has in fact brought in a huge, absolutely ambitious project of pumping in something close to 100 crores initially and up to 215 crores later in terms of creating a center of excellence as well. So this being the kind of potential that's been created by the interest that we generated, I would beckon all of you, welcome all of you to invest in the life sciences sector. A few of our proud global partners, they make us proud. From Caspian Technologies to Nita Gelatin to D-Space to Safran to Orkla to EY to Honeywell. We have quite a lot of international players here in the scene as well. So in terms of the intent of this conference and also the kind of interest that we have in terms of R&D collaboration, in terms of the industry-academia linkage, in terms of the industry-to-industry collaboration, this is the ideal venue. From the Government of Kerala and the Industries Department, we assure you that 24/7 support shall be ensured for any initiative that is taken up in this sector by budding entrepreneurs, established players, global players, and top-class research institutions as well. That's the promise which we have to provide over here. Come to Kerala, come to God's own country, and come to really witness the kind of flowering of the ideas with which you came over here, with the assistance and the support of the best possible talent pool over here. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present a memento to Shri APM Mohammed Hanish, and to do the honor, may I now invite Mr. Balagopal C., Chairman KSIDC, to kindly come over to the dais. We have Mr. Balagopal C., Chairman KSIDC, presenting the memento to Mr. APM Mohammed Hanish IAS, Principal Secretary, Industries, Government of Kerala. Thank you.